Hi guys, it's Tara and welcome back to Crafting with Curly Cues. Today I am going to be creating a fun stenciled background using the absolutely adorable stamp set Cool Cats from My Favorite Things. So to get started, I am going to bust out this super cute set that came out a few months ago and I haven't had a chance to use it. But my friend at work was having a birthday today and I wanted to make her a specialized birthday card and her name happens to be Cat. So I thought, how perfect, I will use these cool cats and just really make a personalized birthday card for her. And then as a bonus, I decided to try to play along with the MFT sketch challenge and color challenge that was going on. Unfortunately, they have closed already. I'm always last minute with the challenges. I don't know what my deal is, but anyway, that's where my color palette came from because these colors are so far outside of what I would normally go for, but I think it turned out super cute. Obviously, 4th of July happened this month, so these kind of reds and blues have been big in a lot of projects, so it was really fun to play around with those after seeing a whole bunch of other people use them as well. So I decided to go with some of this more cornflower blue for my cushion here because that is the blue that I was missing that's not on my card base somewhere from the color challenge. So I have stamped these two images on Nina Solar White with some Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink. This is my favorite ink for Copic coloring these days. So that's the one that I seem to like. So I colored that little cushion in with some blues. I kind of put the shadows on the edges. I don't know if that's right. I'm going to put the cat on top of it so I wasn't too super stressed about it. And I wasn't super stressed about going outside the lines, as you can clearly see, because I am going to be cutting these out, like fussy cutting up to the line. So that didn't bother me either, in case you were wondering if I just went totally cuckoo and was coloring all over the place. So for my kitty here, I wanted her to be white. To not detract from the color scheme, and so I'm using just really sparse amounts of some cool grays here, and you can see I'm really going super light with the shadowing. I really want her to be a white, fancy, cool cat. So I'm just using a few different shades of gray, and then I'll come in and add just a little bit of pink to her cheeks just to make her a little bit, I don't know, precious. More precious. She looks like her name would be Precious, right? Like she's like that kind of kitty, but she's super adorable. And then I'm just going to go over with my clear colorless blender and do a little bit of blending out so that there's no harsh lines with the gray shadowing or the pink on the cheeks. So I apologize, my camera keeps going in and out. I keep forgetting to push the like autofocus button when I zoom in so that it doesn't try to adjust to wherever my hand is at, but anyway, it's just, those are the details, right, in the video making that you tend to forget. So I am going to color her little necklace red, just like I did the accents on the pillow, because red is one of the colors in the challenge, and it's kind of like the accent to all the really pretty blue. I did put some shadowing on there, but I think this necklace is so small, you probably can't even tell anyway. So then I went ahead and fussy cut these out. I wanted to show you that when I'm fussy cutting, I prefer to turn my paper instead of my scissors. So my scissors stay exactly the same, and then my paper just whips all over the place like crazy. And that seems to make it go a lot smoother. It makes it so that I can get really close to the line and get really good cutting. And also, I love these scissors that you squeeze instead of pump. I don't know, it works way better for my hands, but that's just personal preference. So I lined the outside of those images with some black marker so they look like they were cut out perfectly. And now I'm going to prep my background. So this is another panel of Nina Solar White. It is cut down to be slightly smaller than the front of an A2 card, and I am just going to use a really quick line of my ATG adhesive and adhere that right down to my craft mat, which I have wrapped around a clipboard because I think that that's super convenient. And then I'm going to use this My Favorite Things one-way chevron stencil. I love this stencil. I think it's so cute, and I just really love the nice, simple pattern that it gives. And because one of the colors is like navy blue, I'm going to use my chipped sapphire and my faded jeans distress ink. So I'm just putting a little tiny bit of the faded jeans at the top just to give it the slightest bit of ombre. I was going to just go all chipped sapphire, and then I kind of changed my mind at the end. This was a little tricky just because this stencil has so little like grounding points, like those chevrons go all the way across, so those they get a little wobbly. But it really gave a really great impression in spite of the fact that I felt like I was totally stenciling underneath the chevron the whole time. It worked out really well. So now that that's done, I'm going to take my distress sprayer and I'm just going to put a couple spritzes on there and then use my paper towel to go ahead and wipe that up. And that way I get some fun water splatter detail on my background also, just to give it a little bit more interest. So now I am going to go ahead and start assembling my card. So I have used a bunch of different colors of cardstock. Most of it's from My Favorite Things, and it coordinates with the colors that are in part of this challenge. And I have also used some dies from the Blueprints 27 die set. That's where the two banners came from. And then the small stitched rectangle is a Lawn Fawn stitched rectangle. So I first stamped this little paw print on this little like razzleberry blue banner with some Distress ink, some Chip Sapphire Distress ink. And Distress ink doesn't stamp super awesome because that's not what it's designed for. It's water-based. And so I didn't love that impression. So I just flipped that little banner over and stamped it with some Lawn Fawn Blue Jay ink, which is a dye ink, which gives a much cleaner impression in my opinion. So I just cut a little panel out of some Nina Solar White, and this is going to go on the inside of my card because you can see that navy card base up there. That is my card base, so I figured that would be tricky to write in. So I went ahead and did a white panel to adhere to the inside, and I put Happy Birthday in there, super cute. And then I stamped another one of those little paw prints in some Lawn Fawn Lobster ink to coordinate with the red accents on the outside of the card. And that way the inside ties into the outside, and I just think that's super fun to do. So now I am going to use another one of the sentiments. I'm using the You're One Cool Cat. I just thought this was my favorite. It totally jumped out at me. And because her name is Cat, I just loved having that word in the sentiment. I thought it was just super fun. And I am going to heat emboss that. I'm having trouble talking tonight, guys. It's like blah. But I'm going to heat emboss that onto this little navy rectangle here in some white heat embossing powder, and that is going to pop really well against that dark color. It was super, super fun to make this card. I feel like it's been ages since I've been able to just make a card just for fun. Like every time I make a card, it's super fun. Don't get me wrong. But I just like I had my blog, my video hop, I've had design team projects. And it's summer. Like, does anybody else get just insanely busy in the summertime? Like, I just feel like we are go, 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 go all the time. And then when I do have a down moment, I just want to like relax. Like I'm so, the thought of trying to use my brain to be crafty just really, like it hurts. I can't handle it. So to make that red banner appear longer, I just cut it in half. And then that little panel is going to cover that gap. So that's a really fun trick with any of your kind of straight dies that you can kind of just manipulate them to make them any length that you need as long as you've got something covering it up. And that just made that banner suit my needs a little bit more and be a little bit longer like I wanted it to. So then I pop that panel up, and then I'm going to go ahead and put that little banner down at the bottom. And then I'll adhere little Miss Kitty here sitting on her fancy little pillow. And I'm just going to use a little bit of ATG. I actually didn't put any adhesive on her tail because for some reason it just really tickled me that her little tail was like not adhered to the card and was allowed to be free. So anyway, I went ahead and used some micro glue dots to adhere some raspberry sequins from Neat and Tangled. And I used all different sizes in that pretty red color. Oh my gosh, the talking. Wow, it's really bad. Sorry guys. Apparently it was not. It was time for me to start creating more and using my creative mind, but my narration brain is just not on board yet. I'm still like delayed. I was checking and I've only posted like 6 videos the whole month of July. That's crazy. Usually I'm doing like 2 or 3 a week. So I apologize, guys. I'm going to totally get back on track here. But like I said, summer just gets crazy around my house because my husband's a teacher and my kid's out of school. So it just feels like every weekend, which is usually where I kind of get a whole bunch of cards made and then I can just edit videos all week. Every weekend's just been crazy busy, and anyway, I'm just complaining at this point. It's all good stuff. It's a happy life that I lead. So I'm blessed to have it. But I'm glad to be back here with you guys. This is where, I miss y'all. So anyway, I added some sparkle and some glossy accents, and this card is all finished. So there is a nice shot of the inside, just that nice simple white panel to coordinate with the outside. And you can see all the pretty sparkle and the pretty glossy accents and little Miss Kitty sitting super happy on her little cushion there. So thank you guys so much for watching. All the supplies that I used are listed below and over at my blog. If you enjoyed this video, please hit subscribe and leave me a comment. I always love to hear from you guys. Check out the description box below to join me on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram. See you next time. Bye.